I know my haere mai e te iwi. Once again, it's a beautiful morning here in Tahiti as we look up into the mountains back inland from Pirai. There's a little bit of wind actually right through the night. Last night the wind was picking up. I actually thought it was going to be a bit of a much more windy day than we're actually experiencing right now. But rather than the clear, calm, flat conditions we had yesterday for the singles and some of those turns races, today, right from the start out, it's going to be windy. It's a big good morning from David Jones, my partner in crime over here in Tahiti, Hoturoku, saying hello to everybody out there who couldn't make it to Tahiti. No mai, haere mai.
Yes, kia ora everyone. Welcome again to day 7 of the IVF VAA World Sprint Championships here in Tahiti Nui at Pirai. Our course is underway, ready for some finals racing today. We have 1,000 metre and 1,500 metre finals this morning. These are going to be fantastic races. And the conditions, Hotu spoke a bit about the conditions. We have 30-kilometre winds coming in. Now, we saw these winds a couple of days ago, so we know that some of this these conditions are going to cause a bit of havoc on the water this morning, but this is where these teams really have to pick it up, and this is where they're going to have to show us their skill in the racing. So at the moment, our general medals table, we have 34 medals to Tahiti, 17 gold to Aotearoa, and 2 to Hawaii. Tahiti has shown time and time again throughout these past few days just the strength of this country in waka.
And I think part of their strength comes from this huge passion that they have for this sport, David. All you do is you drive around this island, all you see is waka everywhere, in racks, all along the beaches, all around. And it's not just here in Tahiti, but all the other islands you go to, it's exactly the same. You have waka everywhere, people go out paddling. The kinds of races that they have here, the kinds of races that build gold medals, and they race every weekend. The world sprints that we're here involved with now is just another race in between all the other races that they have here in Tahiti, and it's been so I think it's been such a great learning experience for a lot of the young New Zealanders to come here and to see how serious this sport is here in Tahiti. And I think for a lot of the countries who've come here from all around the world, the Tahitians have shown them that this isn't a pastime, this is an actual real sport, and that if you want to be a world champion, you actually have to train hard, that this isn't the time. World sprint events are not the time to come and participate and have a go. They're time to come and actually race properly, and hopefully a lot of the countries from around the world who participated this time or who are contemplating coming to another one of these events take that on board when they bring their teams.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Hotu. The Tahitians eat, breathe, sleep waka. Morning till night, they are out on that water, and many of them use it to get around the island. They don't really use their cars, they just jump in their waka and go for a paddle, and when that's your way of life, no wonder they're so good on the water. You can see, ladies and gentlemen, that our teams are just beginning to load out for the first race of the day, and it is a final. It is a final for the Junior 16 men, V6 1,000 metres. We have 4 Tahiti teams, 1 New Zealand team, and 1 Australia team. The Tahiti teams are the fastest qualifiers in this competition, all 4 teams. So, based on the previous races, we're expecting Tahiti to take out first, second, and third, but there will be challenges out there in lane 1 and 6.
Well, it's another one of those days where there's going to be lots of excitement. We can tell you right now that we will be live broadcasting without a break for the next 2 hours, with every race being a final. And thank goodness for us that at just after 10 o'clock, after the Open Men's 1,500 metre final, we're going to take a break. and then come back again a little bit later in the afternoon, sometime around 1 o'clock, to start race commentaries again, and those will be finals and heats for the 500 metres, which is going to lead us into some exciting racing tomorrow. But just stand by, everybody listening in, all of you people from all around the globe. It'll be a fantastic morning because all we have is finals.
Yes, I just want to mihi to everyone that is joining in from near and far. There are whānau that are joining in just from the venue itself, listening in, and others that are joining in from Aotearoa, from the UK, Canada, the States, all around the world. They're joining in, and I just want to welcome you to this special broadcast by Tahiti Nui TV and Māori Television for the IVF 18th World VAA Sprint Championships. It's going to be some great racing today. The conditions, I need to pick up these conditions because with 30-kilometre winds, it makes for harder racing and it makes for more precise turning, especially in this western end of the course. So where the start line is, keep an eye out as we make those turns. You'll definitely see these paddlers trying to come in really early, angling in their canoe early because the wind is coming in, which means the waka will be getting pushed a little bit more, and the water is a little bit choppy out there. It could probably be a bit worse considering the wind direction and speed, but the conditions are not too bad on the water, but that will definitely push those waka up as they make their way up to the start line for this first final for the V6 1,000 metres.
And I don't know how the New Zealand and the Australian team slept last night, knowing that they're in lane 1 and 6 and they've got these 4 Tahitian teams that fly their canoes through the water. They got a lot of pressure on them if they want to try and win a medal or try and ice out some of the Tahitians, but in a few minutes it'll be in there. They're away. They've started well in lane 1, Australia, Bayside, Yin and Yang. They didn't start too badly, as did all of them. They were pretty close and running neck and neck fairly well out there in lane 4 and lane 4 and lane 5. They're a little bit back. Lane 6 as well. So we'll see how we go. But that team from lane 1, Australia, they're right up there as they're starting to take these Tahitians on.
Yes, this is the first final, and they are wanting to get a medal. Lane 3 is out a little bit at the moment, but what we've seen from these Tahitians is the strength that they have on the straights. They usually blitz many teams on the straights, but once we hit these turns, this is where it's really going to make or break. Out there in lane 5, we've got Hei Va'ahoe from Tahiti. They are already ahead as they make their approach into this first 250-metre turn.
Yeah, neck and neck. Oh no, lane 3, lane 5. Lane 5 got a bit of a sharper angle on their turn as they come in. So I think lane 5 and 3 are going to come out of this turn together, and they're going to have a fight off for the gold medal. Here they go. Lane 6 is a little bit off the pace. The team from Aotearoa, Manukau, outrigger. But here we have it. Lanes 3, 4, 5 out, straightening up and heading back down for turn number 2.
Yes, lane 3, District de Vā de Bora Bora A, and Hina Raurea in lane 4 from Tahiti. Hei Va'ahoe in lane 5. Those are the teams as they make their way down past that 250 mark into the 500-metre mark. This next turn is going to be really interesting to see how they manoeuvre their waka and get around based on these conditions as they make their way down the course here. There is only 2 more turns left in this race. Lane 3 is pushing, but lane 1 and lane 6, Aussie and New Zealand will have to do some real hard work if they want to get these teams, because these teams out in front, lane 4 and lane 3, they are telling everyone we want the gold medal. And I think it's lane 3 as they approach this second turn that will make it through and come around this turn at this 500-metre mark.
Yes, lane 3, that team from Tahiti, District de Vā de Bora Bora in lane 3, they started to run through all their paddling positions with their paddles first in this turn. But out there in lane 4, Hina Raurea, they're taking no prisoners as well, and they might have come out only maybe 1 or 2 centimetres behind the team from outside there in lane 3, District de VAA de Bora Bora, but that's where it's looking like the gold and silver medal battle is going to be between these two Tahitian teams. Hinaro there, District de VAA de Bora Bora, as they move their canoes out for the third and final turn to take it home.
And as they make their way down the course, there is going to be a battle for that third place because that second turn, lane number 4 and lane 5 struggled around that turn, which meant the Australian team and the New Zealand team were able to catch them a little bit, but they're going to have to do a bit more work if they want to push to their bronze medal, because gold and silver look like they are already tied up as they're racing, and they make their way up to this third and final turn. Some fantastic racing here from lane 3 and lane 4. Lane 3 again, that is District de VAA de Bora Bora A, as they make the approach into this last turn. Fantastic turning from this team. It's going to be a really close race. Lane 4 is still here. Lane 5's just getting in at the moment, but lane 4 will be wanting to get their waka around just as fast. This team in lane 3 look like they are already about to approach the exit they have. They've exited first, but this team in lane 4 are already getting around this team from Tahiti are struggling, which means they've opened the door for that third place. But as we make our way down the course in this last 250 metres, it looks as though it's going to be lane 3 that is ahead at the moment, but expect a race and a fight from lane 5.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first race of the day, and we've got it heated up already. It's only about 24 degrees outside, but it's about 42 degrees on those canoes as they come charging into the finish line. Less than 100 metres to go, less than 50 metres to go, and out there in lane 3, they took it out on that last turn to give themselves that advantage, and they stretched that advantage out. Here they come, Tahiti, District de VAA de Bora Bora, world champions, going across the finish line in first place. They take the gold medal out there in lane 4. Hinaro there, silver, and a long way behind in lane 5. Hey VAA looks like they take the bronze.
Yes, Hey VAA will take the bronze, and that team out in lane 6, Manuka, will come in with the 4th place and just miss out on the medals. But these teams, fantastic racing from these junior 16 men in the V6 1000 metres. Congratulations to team District de VAA de Bora Bora from Tahiti Nui, and it was a whitewash from the Tahiti team's Hotu.
Oh, it wasn't a shock, I guess. It wasn't a surprise that the Tahitians came first, second, third. They occupied the prime positions for this race, but this team, you cannot say enough about this team that was in lane 3, District de VAA de Bora Bora. I think that, like you said, David, they eat, sleep, and drink VAA. I was talking to one of the coaches from over that side earlier this week, and said they've been training hard.
And we have a new world record for the junior 16 men V6 1000 metres, 4:32.47. Tahiti District de VAA de Bora Bora. The previous record was 4:37.42, which was in 2008, and that was by Tahiti 1. This team here, 4:34.35, and then a 4:42. Fantastic from these young men. Congratulations, District de VAA de Bora Bora. Not only are you the world champions, but you are the new world record holders.
And these young men from Bora Bora. As I said, I was talking to one of the coaches from Bora Bora, and they do everything on Bora Bora with their coaching, with their nutrition. Everything comes from Bora Bora. They eat only the food that's grown on their island. Everything that they do is totally focused around winning their race and being the best paddlers they can be. And they showed what comes from Bora Bora. Their food must be awesome because they paddled a new world record, smashing the old record. And even the guys who came in second, Hinaro there, they beat the old world record as well. But there's no taking it away from District de VAA de Bora Bora, a World Champions, 18th IVF VAA World Sprint Championships.
Congratulations to all of our junior 16 men who competed in the V6 1000 metres. We now turn our sights to the junior 16 women's V6 1000 metres. This is a final. We have 3 New Zealand teams, 2 Tahiti teams, and 1 from the Cook Islands. This should be a great race coming up next.
Well, if the first race was anything to go by, hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because it's just going to get better. We've got our J16 women, and I just want to, just going through our list here, we've got a really, really good, really good spread of teams here. We've only got one Tahitian team in this race, which is a shock, but that's the way it's looking at the moment. 3 New Zealand teams, they've got a good job. Oh, 2 Tahitian teams, sorry. And 3 New Zealand teams and the Cook Island team out wide in lane 6.
Cette médaille d'or. Merci aussi à les copains, ils sont toujours là. Ah, c'était dur la course, mais avec moi, Naruto, on ne s'est pas laissé faire. On les a attendus au combat.
Balancer le turbo là, fallait tout donner.
Oui, il fallait tout donner pour avoir cette médaille d'or.
Et le record
c'est la deuxième, c'est la deuxième médaille d'or.
Alors il semblerait en attendant que ça s'officialise que vous aurez battu un record du monde là.
Ouais, on voulait battre le record du monde. Et cadet, voilà. Il fait aussi de représenter Tahiti, la Polynésie.
Super les gars, voilà cette image des champions devant nous.
Bravo, bravo à ces jeunes de Bora Bora qui sont, quoi qu'il arrive.
And that was your winners, District de VAA de Bora Bora A from Tahiti Nui, as these women make their way up to the start line. Yeah, interesting that there are only 2 Tahiti teams in this final, Hotu, but many of these teams actually got, there were quite a few technical disqualifications in the heats. And so, interestingly enough, this is the nature of a World Championships. And this is where we've got to with all of these teams. Keep an eye out for Puhi Kaiariki Horota Wakama. They are the fastest qualifiers in this event. They clocked up a time of 5:11.82, I think it was, in the heats. And they've come straight into the finals. And that time alone is a new world record. The previous world record being 5:19.6 from the team Hinekura Marekura from New Zealand in 2016. I'll be interested to see how these teams cope on these conditions and whether or not these conditions will help them, especially on the return in that in that second and final turn of the race.
Well, if the first race is anything to go by, David, we've already had one world record smashed by a couple of seconds. I have no doubt that the opportunity is there for these young ladies to do the same. Which team does it? We will know in about 5 or 6 minutes' time. But here we have them. Lane 1, Tahiti District de VAA de Bora Bora yet again. What did I tell you about these people from Bora Bora? There they are in another final. Rahui Pōkeka Manawaroa, and I know that the Rahui Pōkeka team has a few people at home watching this race because the steerer on that waka, her dad sent me a message saying, what time are the girls racing? I said, they're on in a few minutes. So, ngā mihi nui kia koe Brady tō wakotiro e hoi ana. And they're out there from Hutley in New Zealand. Horota Wakaama, as Davey's already talked about, from Aotearoa in lane 3. Hey Ahoy from Tahiti, lane 4, the fastest team in the race so far. Hey Matou Paddlers from Okareka, which is down in the Rotorua area. And of course, Purotu o Te Moana, Cook Islands, taking out in lane 6.
We have a white flag which indicates to our paddlers to come up to the false start line. The false start line being the big flags on the water. The red flag tells all of our paddlers to come up to the start line and to hold their waka ready to go. As long as they are not over the line, if they are over the line, a black flag will come up. But I think this race will get underway very soon because all of these teams are on the line. And there you have it. Great start from these women in this Junior 16 final for the V6 1,000 metres. Again, lane 1, District de VAA de Bora Bora in lane 1. Manawaroa Rahui Pōkeka from New Zealand, lane 2. Puhi Kaiariki Horota Wakama, lane 3. Hei Ahoe Tahiti from Tahiti in lane 4. Okareka Hei Matou Paddlers in lane 5 from New Zealand. And Purotu o Te Moana, the Cook Islands in lane 6 as they start this final.
The New Zealand teams will be trying their best to change the story after a whitewash or a blackout or a red out by the Tahitians in the first race today, where they came first, second and third. at the moment it looks as if it's their team out there in lane 3, Puhikai Ariki from Horota Wakaama in first place, and it could be the team from Rahui Pōkeka Manawaroa, the other Aotearoa team, coming in along in second place at the moment as they start lining themselves up for the last 15 metres going into turn number 1.
Yes, as they make their way and make their approach into this turn, Horota, they're coming in with at least 4 seats ahead of everyone else as they approach this first turn. But they're in lane 2, Rahui Pōkeka Manawaroa getting their waka around. It's going to be about who can get their waka around the fastest around that turn. Horota are already exiting that turn. Fantastic turn from this team here from Horota Wakahoe Puhi Kaiariki. They are out of their turn and they are already 1 waka length ahead of everyone else in this final as they as the rest of these teams manoeuvre their waka around this turn. That team out there, Horota Wakaama Puhi Kaiariki, are already ahead by a canoe length. They are out to take this gold.
And it looks like that team in lane 4, Hei Va'ahoe from Tahiti, although they were maybe 4th or 5th going into the first turn, are starting to pick up their game and starting to wind in the Rahui Pōkeka girls now from lane 2. But Horota has got a fairly commanding lead at the moment as they charge down the course, trying to set their canoe up. They're about 40 metres out of turn number 2. Here they go, lining up their steersman's looking across, checking where that boy is. Gonna start putting her paddle down into the water and start swinging the stern of her canoe around as they angle in for turn number 2.
Nice angling in here from Puhi Kaiariki from Horota Wakaama as the other 3 canoes in lanes 2, 4 and 5 make the approach into their turn. Horota Wakaama are already out of their turn, getting the last part of their waka out. Yes, there you have it. They are just motoring in this race. Quick turns here from these ladies, but out there in lane 4, 5 and 6, I think it is lane 2 that's had a really good turn. This is Rahui Pōkeka Manawaroa. Out there in lane 4 is Hei Va'ahoe from Tahiti. Those are the 3 teams, Horota, Rahui Pōkeka and Hei Va'ahoe. That is your lineup as they make their way down to the 750 metre mark and the final turn in this V6 1000 metre final.
Great turn from Rahui Pōkeka. Their turn up at the far end was a little bit slow and it opened the door a little bit for the Hei Va'a crew to come along and chase them in. When they came down to turn number 2, Hei Va'a and Hei Va'ahoe and Hei Matau paddlers both came in a little bit before this crew from Rahui Pōkeka, but great turn from these young ladies. They got their canoe around quickly and got themselves maybe 3, even 4 seats ahead of Hei Va'ahoe as they come down for this third 250 metres, waiting to line in for the turn number 3 and the run home for a medal.
Yes, as they make their approach to the last turn, this team here from Puhi Kaiariki are out ahead by at least 1.5 canoe lengths now. As they make their final turn, all they have to do is make sure that their turn is done properly and they get around that turn well. They are doing a nice shot here and they have already come out of that turn as Rahui Pōkeka approach their turn, and out there in lane 4 and lane 5, the Hei Matau paddlers Okareka have approached their turn at the same time. So as they make their way around this turn, Rahui Pōkeka coming in second. They're looking at a real race to the finish, and their team from Okareka, Hei Matau paddlers, are challenging Hei Va'ahoe from Tahiti for that bronze medal at the moment. Let's see how they go, but no doubt about it, this team from lane 3, Puhi Kaiariki Horota Wakaama, will be our world champions for this year with at least 3 waka lengths ahead. They just have to make sure they get over that line in good fashion and ensure that there were no faults in any of their turns. I don't think there were any faults in those turns. Fantastic racing from this team. They're going to take it out for 2018.
Here they come, the new world champions for 2018. 18th IVF World Sprint Champions. Only a few metres left to go in this race. And Horota has absolutely smashed the opposition as they come in and take out the gold medal. No one else is in the picture. What a victory. This is a final, ladies and gentlemen. And they're miles ahead, but here comes Rahui Pōkeka. And out there in lane 5, Hei Matau, but Rahui Pōkeka, they come in and they take the silver medal. They're happy. And out wide, Hei Matau paddlers takes the bronze, and New Zealand has done exactly what Tahiti did in the first heat and come first, second and third.
Fantastic racing, especially from that Hei Mātou Paddlers Okareka team. They were coming in fourth at that last turn, and they picked it up all the way to the end and beat that Tahiti team, the Hei VAA, in that last 250, and even caught the Rahui Pōkeka team, but that Rahui Pōkeka team just pipped them at the line, took the silver, so they should be happy with their bronze medal effort there. Congratulations to all of our New Zealand teams who have the gold, silver and bronze. Horauta Wakahoe, Puhi Kaiariki, they are this year's world champions. Congratulations to them.
And I know there's going to be a lot of happy people at Wahipa today, with their silver medal that their girls are going to bring back to Huntly. But in Aotearoa, I can hear the cheering from here. And here are the times, ladies and gentlemen. 5:12.05 for Horauta, 5:24.93 for Rahui Pōkeka. And we saw that gap as the Horauta paddled across the line. Hei Mātou Paddlers, 5:25.32.
And we have a new world record from Horauta Wakaama Puhi Kaiariki. The previous record being held by Hinekura Marekura of 5:19.60. In this final, we've got a 5:12.05. They have smashed that record by about 7 seconds. Although it wasn't as fast as their heats, it is still a new world record. Congratulations to Puhi Kaiariki. You take both the gold medal and the world record back home to Gisborne in Aotearoa.
Great paddling from these young ladies. Excellent result all around for the New Zealand contingent. They'll be very happy with the effort these young ladies made. First, second and third. We're just hearing the announcement out there to the crowd of this world record time that has been paddled by the Horauta Waka ladies, and everybody is a little bit stunned, I think, because this 1, 2, 3 run by these New Zealand girls, especially when Hei Va'a Hoi was right up there until the last 600 or 700 metres, and then it was it ended up being a dog fight between Hei Mātou Paddlers and Rahui Pōkeka.
Fantastic race from our Junior 16 girls. We are now turning our sights to the Master 50 Women V6 1000 metres. This is a final, and the Master 50 Women's division, for those of you just joining us, are for paddlers who are between the ages of 50 and 59 as of the 1st of January in the year of competition. So as of 1 January this year, our paddlers were between the age of 50 and 59. This should be some good racing. We saw the repecharges yesterday for the Master 50, and these teams have really put in some great racing. Lane 1, Narurua from Ruamata, Ihilani Va'a from Tahiti in lane 2, Ruahatu Tahiti lane 3, Malulaba from Australia, lane 4, Far North Queensland in lane 5, and Outrigger from Hawaii in lane 6. We saw the Far North Queensland team do some great work there for the 1,000 metres. The Far North Queensland team from Australia are also the world record holders. Probably not this specific team, but the world record for the Master 50s is still there, but I'm going to hand it over to the Horauta team.
Ourselves, but also our family and friends, proud, and just let them know that all their support and love didn't go to waste, and all these 5 o'clock wake-ups and everything just paid off. But yeah, shout out to our coach Kiwi Campbell for just really getting us up to scratch and up to standard. I think because at Nationals we weren't as well developed as we are now, but just here too, especially our families. Sarange.
Maruru, merci.
Congratulations, Horauta Waka Hoi, our Puhi Kaiariki team, as this Master 50 women race gets underway. And actually, I need to redact that Far North Queensland. It was actually Ruamata Go Aotearoa in the Master 50s who has the world record, and that was from the last World Championships in 2016. So this race is underway. They have 3 turns. Fantastic racing from lane 2 as they make their way down the course for the first 250 metres.
David, I think Team Ihilani there from Tahiti, they would have gone away after the semis and decided we need to just reassess what we want to do. They're not in the fastest lane there at the moment. They're in lane 2. But in saying that, they've put something together because they're out there in front with this team from lane 3, Tahiti Ruahatu. Now, when we came in this morning and we parked up, because I rode in with David, and once we parked up, we got out of our car, and guess what? The ladies from Ruahatu, they were running up and down in the car park and doing all kinds of warm-ups and things like that with this race in mind. And so now we see them out there on their canoe, but they're in lane 4, but they're in lane 3, but in lane 2, it's Ihilani all the way at the moment as they turn around first, and they're going to probably put a little bit more gap on these other crews, but there we go. At the moment, it's Ihilani in first place from Tahiti, and it looks like it could be the Ruahatu ladies in second place as they come around. And I'm quite surprised because the racing efforts that Australians put in the semi-finals were quite spectacular, and I was expecting them to be in there, and I expected Malulabai especially to be in front at this part of the race.
Yeah, I did too. Some strong paddling from the Ihilani VAA team. They got out of the blocks really quickly, and they are just motoring down this course as we make our way into our second of 3 turns. Lane 1 is doing fantastic as well, which is Ngarurua Ruamata. They look like they are coming in second place at the moment. Out there in lane 3 looks to be third place as they make their way around this second turn. There, Ruahatu from Tahiti, fantastic turning now. That team in lane 2, a little bit of a wide turn for them, but they are getting their waka around. It gives this Ruamata team a little bit of time to get around and catch them, just like this team in lane 3, which is Ruahatu, who I think are now starting to catch this team in lane 1. Lane 1 had at least 1 to 1.5 canoe lengths ahead of everyone else. That has been drawn back a little bit, but it's this last 500 metres where it all counts, because the teams are now going to start picking it up and catching this team in lane 2, and if they can catch them in this next 250 metres and beat them in the turn, it's going to be a great race for the finish.
Team Ihilani VAA from just down the road here in their green and white caps. That's the colours of that club, Ihilani. And I'm just wondering if the patron of their club is over here. Soy sitting in the tent. He's been coming down here most mornings to watch the races and to see his teams paddle. And here they come now in lane 2, Ihilani VAA. Pulling ahead. They did a little bit of a sloppy changeover just as they came out of that turn, and they will need to make sure that there are no mistakes from here on, because the slightest shift allows someone else in all the time at this level of paddling, as Ihilani starts looking across at that turn flag and start to bring the nose of their canoe in to plant the ama as close as they can to the flag and give them enough space on the right hand side to clear those boys and not have any chance of disqualification.
Yeah, I think the team from lane 3, Ruahatu, had a fantastic turn, but this team came flying in. The Ruamata Ngarurua team came flying into that turn. There is a race for second place at the moment, because out there in lane 2, Ihilani VAA from Tahiti, in their last 250 metres are away. And as I said, the Ruamata team really had a great turn, and they were able to catch lane 3. So it's going to be a real fight here for the finish.
Yes, lane 2, Ihilani VAA. Looks like they have this race under control, but it's going to be a fight out there with the ladies who were warming up in the car park. And over there in lane 1, the team from Aotearoa, Ruamata Ngarunu, they're going to have to fight it out to see who gets a silver and who gets a bronze. But over a canoe length in front as they come down to the finish line, the local team, Ihilani VAA, they look like they're going to come in and be the winners. There's no question about it at all. They come flying across the finish line. Here they come, Ihilani, world champions, women 50, 1,000 metres, and here comes the fight for second place, and it's outside there, Ruahatu. That work in the car park paid off. They came in with a silver medal, bronze medal going to Aotearoa.
Congratulations to all of our Master 50 Women V6 1,000 metre finalists. Those teams that are still out there just completing their race as they make their way up to the last 15 metres. That is out there in lane 5 and lane 6, the Far North Queensland team, an outrigger from Hawaii. Fantastic racing from all of our ladies in this race, but no doubt about it, it is Ihilani VAA from Tahiti who had a fantastic start. They got out of the blocks early and they were ahead of everyone else by the time they hit that first turn. And as soon as they got around that first turn, they were gone. They had a bit of a slow turn here in the second turn, but they were still able to maintain their lead of at least a waka length, and it just got further and further as the race progressed. Right up to that last 250 metres, they nailed their turn, and that was it. 5:13, that's 5:13.25 from this team, the Ihilani VAA team. The previous world record was from Ruamata Go Aotearoa at 5:23.6. So we have a new record, and I think that record's been broken by 10 seconds or two, just about. Maybe just a little bit over 10 seconds. Congratulations, Ihilani VAA, for a new world record and the gold medal.
Oh, the thing is first, second and third broke the old world record by the looks of it. They did a great job. Anybody would be happy to break a world record, but to come third and break a world record, that's unreal. And perhaps it tells us the kind of course that we have here. A course that's built for speed, a course that's built for teams with power and the ability to get their canoes up and moving, and the ability to use the wind and swell to their advantage as they come running down for their western turns on this course.
Yeah, 3 finals completed, 3 new world records attained in these 1,000 metre finals. I'm looking forward to the next race, which is the Master 50 men final, because there are 5 Tahiti teams and 1 from New Caledonia. This should be a great race because New Caledonia is in lane 3, so they are one of the faster qualifiers in this race. Let's see how they go against all of the Tahitians in this race as they make their way up to the false start line.
Yes, good on them, New Caledonia, to wreck the picture. AS Kara from New Caledonia, the only flag with a bit of yellow circle on there. All the rest are the flags of Tahiti. You see them there lining up. There's a bit of pressure on these guys because 3 world records have been broken already this morning, so everyone will be hoping that they can break a world record as well. And interesting to note, in the race we just watched, that final, the winning time was 5:13.25, which was a world record, but they were 1 second slower than the young women in the junior 16 race, because they came in at 5:12. So shows you how tough these teams are and how close they are if they were to race against one another, the 16 women and the 50 women. But here we've got our start underway, and it looks like lane 2 has got a little bit of an advantage over everybody else.
Yeah, lane 2, Team Taupo from Tahiti are out really well. Nice work from that team in lane 6 as well. That was Pirai Va'a. As they make their way down the course, no denying it, these Tahiti teams are really fast on the straights, and they just power through the stroke. Lane 1 and 2 are already ahead, which is Team Mihere from Tahiti and Team Taupo from Tahiti, lanes 1 and 2. As lane 3 lags a little bit behind, which is AS Kara from New Caledonia, as they make their way up to this first 250 metre turn.
Well, there's 2 more turns after this, so the New Caledonians have got a chance to upset the Tahitians, but it's not looking like it at the moment because the fight's going to be lane 1 and lane 2. Mihere and Team Taupo from Tahiti. Looks like Taupo is just a little bit in front and of Mihere. In saying that, though, they're actually a whole canoe length in front of everybody else. So New Caledonia, hopefully they can do something so that it's not a 1, 2, 3 of Tahitian teams again, but they've only got less than 500 metres to go now, so they've got to come up with something good to do that. But looking out of our window, the team from lane 2, Team Taupo, is actually starting to make an even bigger gap on the lane 1 team of Mihere as they work their way down for turn number 2.
Yeah, EDT VAA in lane 5 looks to be coming third at this stage. Some great racing from them. If any of these other teams want to make a move, this is the time as we approach turn number 2 at the 500 metre mark. Some really fast racing from these teams. They've come in quite wide. A wide turn from lane 5, which opens the gap up there for the likes of the team AS Kara from New Caledonia. They might be able to get a good turn and get out pretty quickly. Out there in lane 2, fantastic work from them. They have come out with probably about 5 seats ahead of lane 1. But out there in lane 5, that is the EDT VAA. They've had a fantastic turn and they've probably pipped lane 1 at the moment and coming in second place.
Which I wouldn't be surprised if lane 5 is starting to reel in the team from Team Taupo as well, because as we watch the Pidai VAA team in their orange shirts charging down lane 6, I think that the Taupo crew, when they turned, went a little bit slowly and managed to get caught up a bit by Mihere and that team out wide of EDT VAA. So New Caledonia here, they'll be trying to figure out how can we get a medal, because the Tahitians are slowly starting to dominate this race with this team coming in for their last turn. Team Taupo, they want to be the world champions. Here they go. They're going to be coming out of their turns while some of these other crews are still going in. Here they come now, right around the edge of that flag, touching the buoy with their ama. They're going to straighten out. No one else in the picture at the moment, and they are off on their way home.
Yeah, beautiful turn from that team in lane 2. But a challenge coming from out in lane 5. EDT VAA from Tahiti, they are challenging as they make their way down this last 250. Let's see how they go. The Tahitians are really good at these straight races, so expect a fight from lane 5. They're going to try and catch this team Taupo from lane 2, but as they make their way down the course, I think that team in lane 2 are just too far ahead as they make their way down this last part of the 250 metre course.
Well, if I was driving, if I was steering that canoe now in lane 2, I'd be yelling out to our guys, look, we've got to move now. We've got to pick up the pace, because outside wide is Team EDT, and we know what EDT and all their grades have been able to do during this race. EDT is up there. They've changed gear. They start to put it in, but a little bit too late, because they're world champions. Tahiti, Team Taupo, second place Team EDT, and in third place it looks like New Caledonia managed to come in and ruin the day for the Tahitians by coming in and getting themselves a bronze medal.
Congratulations to New Caledonia, who came in as the fastest qualifiers, but didn't make it and did take out the medal. But I must say, fantastic work from this team, Taupo from Tahiti. Great racing from them. Right from the start, they got out of the blocks. Again, a bit like the team from Ihilani VAA. They just got out of the blocks early, kept ahead of everyone, and nailed those turns. Even in the conditions as they are today, the teams are nailing their turns fantastically, and they are getting those waka moving really fast. Team Taupo, 4:39.61. And we have a new world record. The previous world record being held by Tahiti 1 at 4:41.89, and that was a record that's been held since 2008. So, Team Taupo, new winners, 4 minutes in this race, which was 4 minutes 39. Fantastic racing from them.
Mais notre pensée va vers Papi Asseuil et son épouse qui doit être très heureux, peut-être même qu'il pleure, comme Vémiti elle pleure. Et ben voilà, et toute notre famille aussi à la maison. Bisous tout le monde, on vous aime. Love, love, love.
Ben, nous aussi on vous aime.
Namoro marut fatu te nere tana uro mina mato e popo mete tomato tata fanyene o mea o vaimiti e tamato mot mania to e por e te o gari ki hapo mete mea mato tamete mana maru mete apopo a tamato mot mania e ti me o ta au do mato pouro. No tomato tataura ananera o tape me mato ni treni piti e tatai di me mato ti temo mai traia te mana taho e poro mato te mana tu poro ni fatura maru.
And there we have them, ladies and gentlemen, the ladies from Ihilani. They're saying thank you to their patron, Jacques Wong, known affectionately throughout Tahiti and the paddling world as Asoi, and there's so many young people in Aotearoa who use Asoi paddles when they've come up through the grades. He's been a great supporter of the sport over the years, and he's been, as I said earlier, he's been coming down here to the race site most mornings before he gets a little bit too hot, and then he heads home for a rest. But he'll be really, really happy to see his team are the champions as we line up now for 70 women, Master Women Final. Lane 1, Kauai High from Hawaii, Malulaba from Australia, Sailor C from Canada, Aratika Tamaki, they're out there in lane 4, and Ngā Molokama from Hawaii in lane 5.
So these women are over 70 years of age. This is a 500-metre race, not 1,000. It is one turn, so 250 metres, get around one turn and race home as they line up on this red flag to get this race underway. Green flag, and all of our teams are underway. Lane 1, Kauai High from Hawaii, Malulaba from Australia, lane 2, Salish C from Canada in lane 3, Aratika Tamaki Te Arapaunamu in lane 4 from Aotearoa, New Zealand, and Ngā Molokama from Hawaii in lane 5. As they start this race, it looks as though it might be lane 2, Malulaba from Australia, underway in this race. Probably a little bit ahead of the others at this stage, but let's just keep an eye on how they go, because if you can get ahead in this first 250 and nail your turn, then your waka will be ahead by at least a canoe length by the time you get around. So let's see how these Master Women go as they start making their approach to the first turn.
Yeah, it's only one turn in this race, so it's good fun. You only get one chance, so you get one chance to stuff it up, or you get one chance to do it well. So at least on the other races, you got a couple of other turns to try and catch someone up. But this is it, one go at it. So you got to make it your best go. As we start getting closer and closer to that turn flag, it looks like it could be out there, that team from lane 2, Malulaba. They're up there in front, and they're close beside them in lane 3, Sailor C from Canada up there. And it's interesting to note that a few years ago we went up to Canada, and we were paddling with some of the people from the Salish Nation as we were on Vancouver Island, and we had some really great fun there paddling on their traditional canoes. And here we go now. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a fight for first and second between lane 2 from Australia, lane 3 from Canada.
Lane 4 out there, Aratika Tamaki Te Arapaunamu, a nice turn from them as well. They're going to have to work really hard in this last little bit, because there's a race going on for first and second place between the Australians, Malulaba, and Salish C from Canada. The Canadians are really putting it in now. They want the gold, so too does Malulaba from Australia. Let's see how they go as they make their way. You can just see the sheer power, the reach that they have on those canoes as they make their way down the course. That team from Canada is ahead at the moment, Salish C. They are really putting it in and pulling that waka in lane 3 as we make our way to the last 150 metres of this course.
And Salish C is up there. Everyone on Vancouver Island will be jumping up and down because they went into the turn second, and now we've got these 70-plus young ladies out there. They're charging away. They're doing a great job, the Canadians. Looks like they might win a gold medal for Canada and get them up there on the medal table, and here they come. Canada is first, Australia second, and out there, I think it was the team in lane 4, Aratika Tamaki Te Arapaunamu from New Zealand take out the bronze. Lane 1 comes across, Kauai High from Hawaii, out wide Ngā Molokama from Hawaii as well. But great racing from the Canadian ladies. It's so awesome to see these grandmothers and great-grandmothers out there challenging each other, getting their canoes around, doing everything the young people do, and winning medals at the World Championships. Canada champions at the 18th IVF VAA World Sprint Champions.
Yeah, congratulations, Canada. It's great to see our Master 70 women out there showing everyone that if the young people can do it, so can they. And we will wait and see what those times are for the Master 70 women 500 metres. there you have it, a 2:53.86. Fantastic, and we have a new world record. The previous world record was held by Kaiopua from Hawaii at 3 minutes 06:43. It has just been smashed here today as we now head to Team Taupo, our champions for the men.
Te nau ne matu na tu tene hamaru to mato mo to fore tamato mo hene tamato mo to mori fiti mo tuane tana tu nun ai mati te mere mato to mato finua o yo te o era o to hotu tana tu to pope no mato ta popete ria pro hopea to pornitia fai tu to ta to har hawa ti te mo fiti auro no te haru ate te me ate ta tu mo na hara ta to to fai tu to ria maru ya to te no tv I te ha puro ti ar ai te ne fa a ye I te to pornitia a to tato mo wat eito no to maru
Ito te o wat ora. Bon, yaorana to porinitia, bonjour tout le monde. Avant tout, on remercie le Seigneur de cette victoire et après on remercie nos familles, c'est-à-dire nos femmes, nos enfants. Bon, pour la course d'aujourd'hui, comme dit le coach tout à l'heure, on est parti confiant et ensuite il nous a donné la confiance en nous pour réussir cette course. Parce que tout le monde s'est aligné, on félicite tous ceux qui se sont alignés aujourd'hui aux 500 mètres. Mais comme vous savez, il n'y a que les premiers qui sont primés. Donc on remercie TNTV, on félicite tout le monde. Et cette victoire, c'est pour toute la Polynésie qui nous regarde. Si je peux me permettre, un salut à mes parents qui sont marquis. Carnou.
Très bravo.
Beaucoup d'émotions, une petite danse de la victoire, les gars.
Emotion coming there from this team from Taupo. They did a great job. You could see how happy they were at the end of that race. All thoroughly exhausted, sitting in their canoe, but giving each other the handshakes of victory as we line up for the 70 men. Now for their 500-metre race. Same thing again. One turn. Taiti Ruahatu lane 1. Parihaka Wakaama Kotaku lane 2. Calgary Iceman Canada. Maybe that's another gold medal there. Kihei, Nui Nui, Namoro Kama. All those 3 crews are from Hawaii. And we'll see how we go because I was talking to Nappy Napoleon from the Nui Nui team. We can see him. He's steering out there in lane 5. I was talking to him last night and asked him how he was feeling about the racing today, and he said these turns are what will be the big thing for them to try and take control of, but the straight line speed and power of the Tahitians has been something that he not only has to deal with, but everyone else has had to deal with over these past 5 or 6 days. So as they set off on their trip down the race course to that first turn, the Nui team will be relying out there on their canoe, on the ability of the legend Nappy Napoleon to turn their canoe around quickly, because that will be the thing that will get them through to a medal, if anything.
Yeah, they're really nice racing from these men. It's all really close as they start making their approach to this first 250 metres. And as you said, the straight line racing fast from the Tahiti crews. As you can see, the Tahiti crews are already in line, as well as the Hawaii crews. But this team from Aotearoa, Parihaka Wakaama Kotuku, they may have started behind the line, but they got quite a bit of speed up in that first part. And as they make their way around this turn, a wide turn from lane 1. Lane 2, really, nice. They've hit the buoy, but they are kissing it as they make their way around. It is between lane 2 and 3. This is going to be a great race for lane 2 and 3 as to who will go and get the gold. Parihaka Wakaama Kotuku in lane 2. Calgary Icemen from Canada in lane 3. Is it going to be a Canada takeout for this? Who knows? There will be a challenge from their team in lane 2, and I think they've already started their challenge because they look to be ahead by probably 1 seat at this stage.
It's time for a fight, ladies and gentlemen. It's not too often you see 70-year-old men having a fight with each other, but here they go. You know, they spent too much time on this earth to worry about fighting, but here they go, out on their canoes right now. We can see lane 5. That looks like Gaylord Wilcox in the front of the canoe of lane 5 for Nui. He's paddled for them for years and years. But at the moment, coming up to that finish line, lane 3, the Icemen from Canada, they're going to try and beat the New Zealanders. But the New Zealanders there, out there in lane 2, Pariaka Wakama Kotuku, they've got a seat ahead of the Canadians. They're going to come across, and these old men from Aotearoa, they will come in first and win the gold medal. The men from Canada come in, and I think that the Hawaiians might have come in third or fourth, and here comes fifth now in lane 1, Tahiti, and Hawaii again out wide. But the Canadians and the New Zealanders had a fantastic scrap out there, and they need to go and have a rest now. They've got that gold medal. They need to get into shore, have a bit of a drink and chill out and enjoy the rest of the day until they get their gold medal in the afternoon.
Yeah, fantastic racing. Some spectacular racing from that Kotuku Parihaka Wakama. They started behind everybody else, but they had a rate on them that they were able to maintain at the 250-metre mark. We have a 225.86 for the veteran men's 70 and a new world record. The last one being Team Noosa from Australia at 2 minutes 30 in 2016. So a 5-second win from there, but we'll hand it over to the Canadians.
Just everything was perfect for a race. Thank you so much for doing this. And the message is, thank you, our coach, Michael Matthews from Powell River. Thank you, Powell River, all our husbands, and the whole rest of Canada, all the teams, Linda, Christine, everyone that's brought this all together and helped us. John Roberts, Kim O'Keo, who has helped us for always helped us. All the Tahitians, you've made us at home. Even the hotels, the sites, the volunteers, everyone is polite, everyone is just wonderful. We're so happy with Tahiti. We love Tahiti.
Merci les filles.
Merci. Ça c'est un super message. C'est un message.
Yeah, congratulations to the Canadian team who also have a new world record. That is Salish C, the team from Canada there. As we now turn our sights from the Master 70 division to the Master 40 women's division. That is for women aged 40 to 49 in this year. Lane 1, we have District de Vādereia from Tahiti, Tamari Vaidal from Tahiti, Mako Paratoa from Horota Wakaama in New Zealand, Healani from Hawaii, Kilauna from Canada, and Far North Queensland, Australia for this V6 1,000 metre final. And we have a red flag that has just come up, indicating to all of the paddlers to come up to the start line. They'll have to hold their waka. You don't want it crossing the line, because if it crosses the line and a black flag comes up and the green flag comes up while the black flag's still there, it means that someone is disqualified. We don't want that. And it looks as though this race is about to get started. There we have it. A nice start from all of these teams. They were close enough to the line to be able to get their waka out there. But lane 2, fantastic paddling from Tamari Vaidal from Tahiti as they get out of the blocks first in this final.
Tamari Vaidal, they are the crew that got the jump on everybody in this turn race. 3 turns ahead of them at the moment, but out there, lane 6, Far North Queensland. No doubt they'll be wanting to try and get a bit of a better run on this one than the other team that paddled in the Master 70s. Coming up here in lane 1, we have the other Tahitian team, District de Vādereia. Lane 4, and the faster qualifiers of this final is Team Healani from Hawaii. They're pretty neck and neck with the New Zealanders from Horota at the moment, but Tahiti has got the game under control as they go into first turn, with the Tahitians going in first, the Hawaiians going in second, New Zealanders going in third. But let's just remember that these Horota women in those fluoro green shirts are experts at turning their canoe, and this could be the time that they get a little bit of an advantage over the Hawaiians or not. But the Tahitians have managed to maintain their position. They got caught up a little bit by the Horota women, but they're still in front by maybe 3/4 of a canoe with 750 metres left to go.
Yeah, nice turning from each of these women's teams. Ngā Kōparatoa from Horota Wakaama got around that turn pretty quickly and gained a little bit of momentum on this team in lane 2. Tamari Vaidal from Tahiti, but the strength of these Tahitian teams on the straight lines, we see this time and time again throughout these competitions, just the sheer strength and how they can make their canoe run really well on this type of condition. It's different for these teams from New Zealand and even the Hawaii teams, because they're not used to this type of paddling and this type of this condition type. But when it comes to the turns, they get around those turns really quickly. And as they make their way up to the second of 3 turns, this team here in lane 2, Tamari Vaidal, have come in quite early, which is nice to see, as well as the other teams in lane 3 and lane 4. Horota getting around quite well. The Hawaii team struggling a little bit as they make their way around. That Horota team is now gaining a little bit on the Tahiti team. They are out. The Tahiti team is out now. This is going to be a great race. The Horota team will need to put a little bit more power into their stroke if they're wanting to catch that Tahiti team in the straight, because this last 500 meters is where it's going to count. If they can push that Tahiti team and nail their final turn, they may come out first and push that Tahiti team to a real good race right till the end.
Oh, I can see the Tahitians just looking out of the side of their eyes at the moment, because suddenly out of turn 2, Horota managed to catch them up, and now it's going to be a head-to-head battle. As they came down in the second 250, Horota managed to hold and maybe even catch or close the gap just a little bit more with the Tahitians. And when they came around the corner, neck and neck. So Horota now, if they want to win a gold medal, they just need to hold it here and hold the Tahitians exactly where they are, execute a fantastic turn at the other end, and then lift the game. But at the moment, I would say Horota is ahead by maybe half a metre over this other team from Tahiti. The team there in Tahiti from Tamari Vairao is really up there, as is this team from Horota, who are going in 2 seats ahead. They made ground on the Tahitians as they came back up on this 250-metre leg.
And this is where it counts, this last turn, the last turn in this V6 race. A little bit wide for Horota, which has just opened it up a little bit for the Tahiti team. But this Horota team is already out of the turn. The Tahiti team is still trying to get around. That has just opened it up for Horota. For this team, Ngā Kōparatua, it's going to be a race for the finish line, because the Tahitians are not going to give up. They're going to push all the way, and this is where the Tahitians will start picking their stroke rate up and trying to get as much water as they can and getting that lead that the Horota team has as close as they can. This is still a race in it for this 1,000 metre.
That's a fantastic race strategy by the team from Horota. If we think back in this race, in the second 500 metres of the race, the Horota team started to attack the Tahitians after turn number 2. They picked their game up. They held the Tahitians as they were coming down for the second turn, passed them on the second turn, and then just started to make a gap bigger and bigger and bigger. And here they come, the team from Aotearoa. Horota, Ngā Kōparatua coming to the finish line. They've just got to hold the Tahitians here, and they're the world champions. Aotearoa, Tahiti second, coming in at 3rd place. Healani from Hawaii, bronze medals.
Lane 4 coming in for that bronze medal, but congratulations to Ngā Kōparatua. I'm sure all of the whānau from Tūranganui-a-Kiwa will be watching and cheering for you, knowing that you are now this year's world champions for the Master 40 Women V6 1,000 metre event. Congratulations. And it was that race strategy. As soon as they hit the 500 metre mark, they picked it up and they continued to build on that all the way to the end. Got to the 750 metre mark, nailed their turn. They got ahead of that Tahiti team by about 2 seats, and they maintained that pressure and maintained that stroke rate all the way to the end.
It was great. It was hold, turn 1, hold, turn 2, attack. And that's exactly what they did. They attacked the Tahitians and managed to slowly edge ahead of them each stroke of the race.
We have a 5 minutes 18.92 for the the women's races. So that's for the 1,000 metres. That's for the 40. And I think they may have just missed out. The world record is 5:18.08, but I'm going to hand it over to Parihaka now.
Après ça, nous avons aller dans un rythme vite pour nous.
Un petit message pour la Nouvelle-Zélande.
Okay, folks at home, kia ora mai tātou. Koinei mātou no te karapu parihaka, ko hara mai nei hei tō ki konei, no reira he mihi atu tēnei ki a koutou katoa. Kia ora.
Maruru les boss, merci encore.
Félicitations. Allez messieurs,
Now, Parihaka men's team world champions for this year. And the master women that came through, I think they just missed out on the world record by 0.7 of a second, I think it is. But we now turn to the master 40 men V6 1,000 metres. This is a final. And lane 1 to 5, we have Tahiti and 1 New Zealand team. So Tahiti lane 1, District de VAA de Morea. EDT VAA in lane 2 from Tahiti. Lane 3, Paddling Connection from Tahiti. Hinaraurea, Tuatai VAA in lane 5, all from Tahiti. And Whakatu Marae Wakaama, VO2 from New Zealand in lane 6 as this race gets underway.
Yeah, out there in lane 6, the team from Aotearoa, Whakatu Marae Wakaama VO2 team, trying to get a bit of advantage because there's 5 Tahitian teams out there. They thought they could maybe sneak out across the line and get a bit of a run in there, but no chance of that. Race line officials caught them. They had to back up. They've got a big job on their hands. They're the only guys out there from the rest of the world who can do anything about stopping a Tahitian 1, 2, 3. Whether or not they can do that, it remains to be seen, because out here with lane 4 charging down the line, Tahiti Hinaraurea coming into their first turn already. They're angling in. It looks like the poor old New Zealanders might actually be in 6th position as they come in for the race turn 1. But Hinaraurea looks like they'll be completing their turn first, and then it'll be between lane 2, EDT VAA, and lane 3, Paddling Connection for the 2nd and 3rd spots.
Nicely done as they make their way around that first turn. They're in lane 4, which is Hinaraurea. We've seen this name before in the Junior 19s division. Fantastic racing from some of these teams. And this Hinaraurea team, as they make their way down the course, they're in lane 3 and 2 at the moment. Lane 3, who is Paddling Connection from Tahiti, and lane 2, EDT VAA, are still in this race. It will be interesting to see how they go in this second turn, because this is where many of the teams have been getting tripped up, is this turn on the western end of the course. And as they make their way up to the second turn now, they are neck and neck, probably about 2 seats between 1, 2 and 3, which is lane 4 first, lane 3, then lane 2. Lane 4, they have come around this turn quite nicely. Hinaraurea, lane 2, EDT VAA. Nicely done from EDT VAA. They've come around quite quickly, and they have gained a little bit on this team in lane 4. They are already out at the moment. They are going to race and chase that team in lane 4 down as they make their way down to the 3rd and final turn.
EDT VAA executing an excellent turn, which is what we've been saying all along. A good turn gets you in there. If we had been able to pick apart the turns that took place at that end of the race course at turn 2, when they came in, the lineups of each canoe was slightly different, and the team that's ahead at the moment, lane 4, the team from Hinaraurea, they actually started their turn a little bit earlier, and the team in lane 3, they were a little bit later than Hinaraurea in terms of what they started to do with their paddles. And we saw the effect of that is that they drifted down past the flag a little further, which allowed the team from EDT in lane 2 to get into the picture. So now what we have is a fight between lanes 3 and 2 again, as lane 4, Hinaraurea comes around for their 3rd and final turn, and they might be looking like they've got a bit of an advantage as they go for the gold medal.
Nice turning here from Hinarorea from lane 4 Tahiti. As they make their way around, lane 2 are going to start this challenge once again, which is EDT VAA. They have come out of this race, and I think they are probably about 2 strokes behind this team in lane 4. No doubt about it, there's going to be a race for that gold and silver, and the bronze medal at this time looks like it's going to be with team OPT there as they make their way down the course.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a big dog fight going on here. Hinaro have been in front of this race most of the way, but Team EDT in lane 2 is coming at them. Lane 4, we have Hinaro there charging to the finish line. Now we see the nose of the canoe of lane 2. Team EDT coming through. EDT's picking up, but they're only 2 seats behind. They have to take the silver medal as lane 3 comes across. Pending connection from Tahiti. Tahiti yet again comes in 1, 2, 3.
Great racing from that team from EDT VAA. They were catching them, but it was too late there. Their attack was a bit too late. They should have done that at the 250 metre mark when they were still quite close, and they would have probably pipped that team at the line. But congratulations to Hinaraurea from Tahiti, our world champions for the Master 40 men, V6 1,000 metres. Ngā mihi kia koutou.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're sitting here in our commentary booth, and I think we're getting as hot and tired as the guys out there on those canoes as they're racing up and down the course. And here's the times. First place, 4:25.25. Second place, 4:26.19. And third place, 4:30.18. Fast racing from these canoes as they charge up and down that course.
I think we have a new world record, Hotu. The men's 40 V6 1,000 metre race was taken out by Tahiti, won in 2008 with a time of 4 minutes 30. So that 5 seconds has been shaved off the world record time, and that team from Tahiti has taken it out this year, but I'll hand it to Horota.
It's just something that we probably hadn't quite dreamed of, but we've certainly done the work that, we could manage it.
How was the condition on the water?
Oh, it was nicer yesterday when it was perfectly flat, but actually a little bit of bump is quite nice. I like turns that are a little bit tighter and a little bit rough, so it was fine for me. The message for home, hey, just like to thank all the people we've trained with to keep us going through the cold winter months, all our whānau and family who've supported us and got us to here today. Yeah, and to my teammates, just awesome, here and back home.
There was Penny Scragg from Horota Wakaama. Congratulations to that team taking out the gold medal for this year. And our Master 40 men's champions as well from Tahiti, 1, 2 and 3. We now turn to the Junior 19 men V6 1,000 metre final. It is 5 Tahitian teams and 1 New Zealand team out there in yellow. Lane 1, District de VAA de Reiatea. Lane 2, EDT VAA. Lane 3, Team OPT. Lane 4, District de VAA de Bora Bora B. Lane 5, District de VAA de Bora Bora A. And the New Zealand team in lane 6, Horota Wakaama Daddy Hellies.
Yes, surprise, surprise. It's only Tahitians and 1 New Zealand team in this final. I'm really looking forward to seeing the times, David, because often the times of these juniors are as good, if not faster, than the open men's. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how well these young men do in this race as Horota drifts across the line. And we see our black flag warning come up. We're back in action as we stand by.
Nice start from this race for the Junior 19 men's final for the V6 1000. Lane 4 out to a fantastic start. They have just got their waka out of the blocks quicker than everyone else. Lane 4, District de VAA de Bora Bora Team B. Their A team is in lane 5, but out there in lane 6, Daddy Hallies from Horota Wakahoe in this race, the only New Zealand team. Let's see how they go as we make our first approach into this first 250-metre turn.
Pretty good run here from District de VAA de Raiatea, but at the moment it's the red shirts of District de VAA de Bora Bora B in lane 4. That's right, folks. Bora Bora B is leading the way at the moment. Out there in lane 5 is Bora Bora A, but they're a little bit off the pace at the moment as the B team comes around the flag and starts turning their canoe around. 7:50 to go after this turn. Bora Bora B, but there inside them in lane 3 we have Team OPT just hauling them in a little bit at the moment, and Team OPT comes out maybe just 1 metre behind the Bora Bora B boys as they come round and start charging. I'm expecting OPT to start hammering on the door of the Bora Bora boys now, because OPT did a great turn there. Hopefully for them, if they can clean out another fantastic turn at the bottom end, at the western end of the racecourse, that will give them a slight advantage for the second half of this race.
Yeah, a nice turn from the New Zealanders in lane 6. That's brought them up in the racing for this as they make their way up to this second 250 metres, the 500-metre mark in this race. This western end is where it really counts, because this is the harder turn of them, and they are approaching that turn now. Out there in lane 3, Team OPT have done quite a wide turn. So too that team out in lane 4, which is District de VAA de Bora Bora. They're getting their way around that turn. Lane 3 seems to be coming out pretty well. In lane 1, though, District de VAA de Raiatea have had a really nice turn as well and are coming out really well. But in lane 3, they are out ahead of everyone else, and lane 4 just behind them, with lane 1 following just behind as well.
Lane 3, Team OPT, they decided to use the second 250-metre run as the run to give everyone a big slap, because now they are about 5 or 6 seats ahead of their closest rivals in lane 4. Team from Bora Bora, the District de VAA de Bora Bora B, that are coming second at the moment. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, the way that this team from OPT VAA are going, they're going to do another fantastic turn and get even further ahead at turn 3, and no one else will be able to catch them.
They are pushing the limit at the moment, and lane 4, though, still challenging as they make their way up to this third and final turn. Nice entry here from lane 3. They are getting that waka around really quickly, while lane 4 is making their entry. They've already come around. This team here in lane 3, Team OPT, really showing everyone how it's done. Nicely done from them. They're already out. The other team is still trying to get out. It's going to be a great race for third if we can get these other teams out, but lane 1 seems to be coming in third place. But this team in lane 3, Team OPT from Tahiti, really putting in the power now. They are cranking it to get home so that they can make sure that they are ahead of everyone, and they are. They're already ahead by at least 1 canoe length. I don't think this team out in lane 4 are going to catch them.
Yes, District de VAA de Bora Bora B out in lane 4. They had the advantage going into turn number 1, but OPT went into turn 1 and said, watch this, boys, turn their canoe around, and then laid it down on the line for turn number 2 to get themselves ahead. Turn 3 came through, and there they go, OPT winners. Number 2, Bora Bora B, comes across in second. And here we have the team from Raiatea in third place, and they are happy.
1, 2, 3 to Tahiti. Some fantastic racing from that Team OPT. You're right there, Hotu. They got around that first turn, and then they just motored it. And then when they got around the second turn, they flew around that turn. It was a little bit wider than what you would expect from those turns, but they were able to just pick that speed up in the exit from that turn, and they took off from everyone else, and they were able to maintain it in that last 250-metre turn all the way to the end. Fantastic racing from that team, Team OPT, showing everyone how it's done, and I'd be keen to see what their time is.
It'll be great to see the times for these young men from the under-19s division. Raiatea there in their orange shirts, showing the classic reactions of a team that's got a bronze medal that were
424.13, a new world record. The old world record was 424.39, so they've just shaved the world record. Team OPT Tahiti, your new world record holders, taking out the record from Tahiti 1, who got that in the 2014 World Sprint Championships. 424.13, 428.24, District de VAA, de Bora Bora. But fantastic racing from these teams. I'm going to hand it over to our winners.
On a fait hier, on était quatrième au temps et ça nous a touché un peu, hein. Vis-à-vis de tout ce que les rameurs pensent en soi-même, c'est de gagner, hein. Mais en fait, ça c'est juste, je veux dire, un petit avancement de voir les choses de la finale. Le chrono c'est très important, hein, pour pouvoir se motiver, hein. Et on s'est motivé, on s'est dit les gars, ça on va attendre 2 ans, ou ça on va la chercher aujourd'hui. Et on est parti la chercher aujourd'hui. Et puis pour la course, on s'est dit que le départ, on va sortir du lot, on va essayer de voir comment les autres ils sont vis-à-vis de nous. On a vu qu'on avait cette légère avantage. On a amélioré nos virages aujourd'hui et je suis très content des copains. Parce que la plupart ils sont des novices. JP, notre président, son premier championnat du monde, le potier, et je félicite tous ces gars-là. Notre entraîneur aussi qui est à Raiatea Fatouma. Et voilà, Raiatea Tahiti, comme j'ai dit à Mateia, lever haut les couleurs de la Polynésie. On l'a fait encore aujourd'hui, il nous reste le 500. Merci.
Super, bravo.
Lining up as the junior 19 women now, ladies and gentlemen, Malulaba in lane 1 from Australia. Tahiti Pueunui, lane 2. And we have 4 teams from Aotearoa, Te Pairangi Te Are Māori, Horauta Wakaama. We have 2 teams from Horauta, Hine Toa and Pipi Taiari. Manukau Outrigger Canoe out there in lane 6. Can we do the same as the Tahitian young men did and see a whitewash from the New Zealand crews?
Yeah, great start from lane 3. Te Are Māori from Te Pairangi Wakaama as they get this race underway and started for the V6 1,000 metre Junior 19 Women's Final. This is 3 turns in this race, and yes, you're right there, Hotu. We've got 4 New Zealand teams. He's hoping they can take out all 3 of the positions, but they will be challenged by Malulaba and Tahiti Pueunui from lanes 1 and 2 as they make their way down the course. Great to see Horauta Wakaama with 2 teams in this final from the same club, Hine Toa and Pipi Taiari.
As they make their way down the course, Horauta look like they're really wanting to get up there a bit quicker, because it seems at the moment that we have the Te Pairangi team in lane 3 is slightly ahead of the Australians in lane 1, Malulaba, as they work their way, lining up for that edge into turn number 1. And they're reasonably comfortable at the moment, this Te Pairangi team, as they go around turn number 1.
Yeah, nice turn from that Te Are Māori team. They have got the canoe around really quickly and just pulled the front around. They are now out of the turn, so they will get at least a waka length ahead at that first turn as they make their way down this course for the 500 metre mark. Some excellent racing from this team. They've already picked up. The second team looks to be this Horauta team. Don't know if it's Hine Toa or Pipi Taiari. At the moment, I'm thinking it is Hine Toa that have come out second place. But they're going to have to do a lot of work to catch this team from Te Pairangi, from New Zealand, Te Are Māori, because they have had a fantastic turn and are really powering in the straights.
And it looks like it could be a fight between lane 1 and lane 2 for 3rd position. As we watch Te Pairangi Te Are Māori come down for turn number 2. Horauta there on the outside of them, and inside they've got the team from Tahiti as well, giving them a bit of a run for their money. But as we can see at the moment, here comes the team from Te Pairangi Te Are Māori there going in. Horauta looks like they're going to be close in for second with the Tahitians, and the Australians coming in there as well as Tahiti. Right at the front of their canoe around. They want to try and get around faster than the Horota girls, but remember Horota are really, really sharp at their turns, and we can see it right now that Horota is taking a bit of an advantage over the Tahitians, who look like they're just drifting a little bit towards that buoy. They just make it inside that buoy and avoid being disqualified or avoid having to back up as Te Pairangi takes off back up for turn number 3. Horota looks like they might have secured second position, but in saying that, the Tahitians have been seen over the course of this event to always catch people up. So at the moment it looks like Te Pairangi Tiare Māori is in first position. Hine Toa from Horota Wakaama from Aotearoa is in second, and I'll be interested to see how the Australians did on turn number 2.
Yeah, the out there in lane 6, the Manukau Outrigger Canoe Club, Manu Wahine, had a fantastic turn actually, and they were able to catch up some of these other teams. So in first place at the moment we've got Tiare Māori from Te Pairangi, followed by Hine Toa, and then it's a bit of a race for that third space between lanes 2, which is Pueu Nui from Tahiti, and Pipi Taiari Horota Wakaama, but just don't underestimate the power of that Manu Wahine from Manukau Outrigger Canoe in this last turn, because this is where it counts. This last turn, every single turn counts, but once you've nailed the first 2, it's the last one that you've got to get over the line. This team's taking a little bit longer, the Tiare Māori team, but they're already out as this Horota team makes their approach into that third and final turn.
Well, at the moment it's no contest as Te Pairangi Tiare Māori come around that corner. They went into that turn and no one else was in the picture. We've got Horota, they're coming around now, Hine Toa. They look like they're fairly safe in second place. So, as I said, no contest, because this team over here in lane 3, Te Pairangi Tiare Māori, they are so far in front of everybody else. It's not funny. They are way ahead of Horota. Horota charging down the Hine Toa team, but there's no way, there is absolutely no way they're going to catch this team from Te Pairangi Tiare Māori as they come through to the finish line. No pressure on them at all as they come through, maybe with 20 metres to go. They are in there, still in time. They know they've got this in the bag. They pick their pace up a little bit. They celebrate before the finish line. They are the champions for 2018 of the world.
Congratulations, Te Pairangi Tiare Māori, our world champions, coming in second now out in lane 4. Will be the Horota team, and coming in third with the bronze medal is lane 2, Tahiti Pueu Nui. Lane 4, Hine Toa Horota Wakaama, that's the silver medalists, but our gold medalists, Tiare Māori from Te Pairangi Wakaama.
It'll be interesting to know if this is a world record, because often when there's not a lot of pressure on you, you kind of ease off a bit, and so whether or not the girls paddled hard there to try and break the world record, it'll be interesting to see what the result is.
The world record for the junior women's 19 is 5 minutes 14.17, and it was done in 2008 by Tahiti 1 team from Tahiti. So let's see what these girls' times are and whether or not they've broken a world record today.
Puisque là, depuis le début qu'on a commencé notre club, là, on a partagé des bonnes choses, là, bonnes collisions. Et voilà, c'est ce qui a fait aussi. Ben là, comme les 2 dernières journées, on n'est pas bien parti là au départ. Bon, on a vu qu'on tournait très bien, quoi. Après, on a essayé de creuser l'écart là avec nos tournants. Hein. Et on a vu que ça marchait, ben voilà, on a tenu jusqu'au bout. Ben, petit coucou à la famille, hein, ceux qui nous regardent. Voilà, c'est pour vous ça, cette belle victoire.
C'est la famille, c'est pour vous ça. Super les gars, champion du monde, félicitations encore, c'est pas tous les jours.
Team OPT, world record holders for this year's Junior 19 men's division. They are the V6 1000 metre champions for 2018. Our Junior 19 women just waiting to hear what the results time was for that race. Hopefully we'll get that up on the screen shortly as we make our way to our next race as well, which is the Master 60 women V6 1000 metre final.
Finals have been fantastic. Only one world record wasn't broken this morning. We've had, how many races have we had? We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 races so far. Of those, 9 have been new world records, and we're just waiting to see the results of this last one to see if another record's been broken. And here we go. Te Are Māori, it looks like they have broken the world record, 5:12.66. Orota comes in at 5:26.24, and the Tahiti Puerunui team comes in at 5:30.61. Another world record it bites the dust today, as this team of fantastic paddlers right throughout the world have been coming in and winning these races in record time.
We have the Master 60 Women V6 1,000 metre final. This is the lineup. Halewa Outrigger from Hawaii in lane 1. Canadian Orca Spirit in lane 2. They did some fantastic racing in the repecharges. Ngāti Rehia Team Tai Tokerau from New Zealand in lane 3. Malulaba from Australia in lane 4. Kai o Pua from Hawaii in lane 5. And Powell River from Canada in lane 6. As this race gets underway, lane number 3, Ngāti Rehia Team Tai Tokerau out ahead of everyone at this early stage.
This Ngāti Rehia Team Tai Tokerau, they had some pretty good races through the as they made their way through all the progression rounds, and there they are in lane 3. And Malulaba, they're a pretty tough mob out there in lane 4 from Australia. They're not going to lie down and want to come second, so it's going to be a bit of a fight. Canada's already got a gold medal earlier on in the day, so they'll be hunting for one as well. But at the moment, it looks like it is, in fact, the team out there in lane 3, Ngāti Rehia Team Tai Tokerau, going into their turn slightly ahead, not a long way ahead, but slightly ahead of their competition. Is out there in lane 4, Malulaba tries their best to peg them back.
Yeah, Malulaba has been quite strong throughout these Master 60 women competitions over the past couple of days. But as they make their way up to this first turn, we can see that all of these teams have got a nice reach at the front, and they're gripping the front of their canoe. This team here in lane 3 approaching their turn first. The Ngāti Rehia Team Tai Tokerau coming around their turn first, while that team out there in lane 4 have had a little bit of a wide turn, the Malulaba team. So that's opened it up for the team Canadian Orca Spirit to come out, and they have gained a little bit, that Canadian Orca Spirit on lane 4, which is the Malulaba team. But that team from Aotearoa has come out pretty quick and easy in that first turn. Lane number 1, nicely done from them as well, as they make their way, which is Halewa Outrigger from Hawaii.
Yes, poor old Malulaba there, they didn't give themselves a chance here when they came into that first turn. They drifted way off the buoy, and what was a very, very close entry into the first turn between the New Zealanders and the Australians suddenly became a bit of a gift to the New Zealanders, because they were able to stay close to the buoy, turn around that flag and get out there. And so what's happened is that now, coming from a position of being neck and neck, the New Zealand team is now one whole canoe length ahead of the Australians. And in that time of their turn, the Hawaiians caught the Australians up, as too did the Canadians. So it could be that the Canadians might even be in second position as they are starting to come down and set up again for turn number 2.
And as they make their way around this turn number 2, the team Ngāti Rehia, Team Tai Tokerau, are already making their way out of the turn as the rest of them struggle around. Sadly, lane 1 has been pushed out a little bit. They're going to be working quite hard to get around. And out there in lane 6, by the looks, they've gone and turned around the big flag, which is going to make it much harder for them to get around in that second turn. But out there in lane 3, Ngāti Rehia, Team Tai Tokerau, fantastic second turn from them. But there is a race happening for the second place between Canadian Orca Spirit and lane 4, Malulaba. But out there in lane 5 looks to be a little bit of a challenge happening as well from Kaiopua, Hawaii.
Yes, that team out in lane 6, Powell River from Canada, they'll be disappointed because you don't want to come to a big race like this. You get into the finals and a simple mistake such as turning around the wrong flag suddenly makes your race no-go, and you're out of contention because the other teams are so good. All you can do is sit back and rue what might have been as you see them disappear way out into the distance, as is this team in lane 3. Ngāti Rehia, Team Taitokerau, as they make their way up, cleaning out this last 30 or 40 metres before they do their final turn, which they, if they execute cleanly, will be the road to a gold medal.
Yep, we'll be making our way to the gold medal podium if they can get around this last turn. And as they make their way around this turn, some fantastic racing from this team here, Ngāti Rehia. Team Taitokerau coming around that turn really easy, actually. Nice and easy from them. But the Canadian Orca Spirit has caught up and has caught the other teams. They've made their approach to the turn earlier than Malulaba. There's going to be a race for second, Hotu. They're really going to fight it out because this Canadian team, Canadian Orca Spirit in lane 2, have already got out and are pushing at the moment.
Canada looks like they're lining up another medal for themselves. It won't be a gold medal, but it certainly will be either silver or bronze. I'm banking on a silver for the Canadians because they've slowly worked away with improving their turns with each and every run as we get a great head-on shot of the Canadian Orca Spirit team as they come in, charging to the line, but the team here from Aotearoa, there's no stopping them now. They can see that flag. They can picture those gold medals around their necks as they come to the finish line. They are charging lane 4, Malulaba. They could have been in there, but one sad turn on their behalf allowed the New Zealand team to just get a bit of an advantage and really work that advantage to the point of a gold medal. And here they go, victory for Aotearoa. Ngāti Rehia, Team Taitokerau in first position. Coming in second, the team from Canada, they'll be happy. Canadian Orca Spirit in second place, and over the line in third position, lane 4, Malulaba from Australia. Congratulations, ladies.
Congratulations to all of our Master 60 women paddlers. Fantastic to see, and just great racing from all of our women in all of those turns, from the first turn all the way through. They were able to get that waka around and pull that waka through the water. This team here, Powell River, now just getting themselves over the line in their last 50 metres for this race. Canada has had a good showing in these Master 60 women's and men's races. This is where they're taking their medals, but congratulations to Team Ngāti Rehia with a 5-minute 49.07 for the Master 60 women's event. And I'm going to hand it over to Te Paerangi.
To be with us during trainings, and yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Merci et bravo à
Short,
ces
sharp and
junior
sweet from
championnes
Te Paerangi Wakaama, just thanking everyone that had supported them throughout their campaign for the World Sprints. And they are the Junior 19 World Champions for this year, the 18th IVF VAA World Sprint Championships. That was the Master 60 women's race. Ngāti Rehia, Team Taitokerau took that out with a 5 minutes 40 odd time. But it wasn't a world record today, but they will be happy with that gold medal.
I'd be happy with any medal. I'd be happy with any medal, David, if I was out there. But here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we've only got 3 more races to be broadcasting to you on the live feed as these men 60 years and over line up for their 1,000-metre race. Tahiti, District of Moria, Ngā Morokama from Hawaii. 3 more teams from Tahiti. Team OPT, Pirai VAA, Pirai VAA, and another team from Canada, the Icemen from Calgary. Well, the Icemen, they'll need to be icy cool in this race because they've got to fight against these 4 Tahitian teams who no doubt will be trying out to win this 1, 2, 3 whitewash yet again as Pirai, it looks like the Pirai A team or the Pirai, it is the A team, are slightly over the line. local teams sitting there as they take off. And I have to say, David, I think this is one of the first times I've been at a World Championships where no New Zealand over 60 men's teams have been in the final.
Yeah, not the best for Aotearoa in the over 60 men's division, but a really strong showing from our Tahiti teams. Lanes 2, 3, 4, just fantastic work throughout the heats, the repecharges, the semis, and now coming to the finals, we can just see the strength and the power that the Tahitians have and how seriously they take this sport of wakaama.
Well, I've got to say, David, I'm going to put my money on Team OPT for this race. And they're already in front now, so yeah, I think they've been fairly consistent right throughout the different progressions. I have of the opinion that these guys are going to go get in there and take it out. I'm keen to see what kind of time they come up with, because these old guys, they like trying to paddle with you know, and try and keep the same kind of competitive spirit as the younger teams do it, as the 40-year-olds and the 50-year-olds and even the 19-year-olds. And if they can get a time close to that in a 1,000-meter race, they will be happy. As Team OPT clears out and gets a whole canoe length on everybody else, they've got it fairly secure at the moment. Team VAA coming through in second place, and it could be in lane 2 that the Hawaiians, Ngā Molokama, are probably looking like they could be in third place. If it's not them, it looks like it'll be District de Var de Morea that could be in that third position.
Yeah, District de Var de Morea had a nice turn at that 250-metre mark, and that got them ahead by a little bit over that Ngā Molokama team from Hawaii. These men have 2 more turns in this V6 1,000-metre final, and as they start making their approach to this next turn, it's out there in lane 3. We have that team OPT making their approach now to this second of 3 turns.
Well, in this kind of racing, a 1,000-metre race, and it's a final, I have to say OPT is miles ahead of everybody, which is something that we don't see too often, but there we have it. Miles ahead of everybody. They're taking off the team there in lane 2, Team Hawaii from Ngā Molokama from Hawaii. They drifted quite a long way away from that their turn flag, and they've allowed this team in lane 1, Tahiti District de Var de Morea, to get through. Right out there wide in lane 6, the team from Canada, the Icemen, are feeling the pinch from this hot weather, but there's no taking it away from these Tahitian guys in lane 4. We have Pirai VAA. They might be up there in second place, but there's no way anyone is close to this team in lane 3, Team OPT.
Team OPT are just showing everybody in this division how it is done. And you're right there, Hotu, when you're at a World Championship division competition, you do not expect teams to be at least 2 or 3 wakas ahead in these finals. But there you have it. They are showing everyone how it's done. Lane 3, Team OPT from Tahiti, coming into their third and final turn now. They are just angling in at the moment. Nice and easy. They've got some good momentum on their waka at the moment as they make their way around their turn. And they're using the current and they're using the crosswinds to just push the front of their waka around quite nicely. And they'll just come out of that turn as everyone else is just approaching to have an easy way home. This team out here in lane 2, Ngā Molokama, just making their way around the turn now, but OPT, fantastic work from them.
And looks like it's going to be another one of those closeout races where Tahiti will come first, second and third, because we already know Team OPT is so far ahead of everyone else that it is not funny. We've got PDA coming in second place in their orange shirts, and then we have this team in the green, the team from District de Var de Morea in lane 1, charging through for a bronze medal, but they might actually be giving it a little bit to the team out there from Piraiva. No way that this team that's leading OPT is going to lose, but there could be a bit of a go on here between lanes 1 and lane 4 as they come through. Lane 1, I think, might just be a little bit behind the orange shirts, But here go the winners. OPT, they cross the line. Here comes a team from VAA. They're going to be the silver medalists. And over here in lane 1, District de VAA de Moorea, they cross the line in 3rd place and take the bronze medal.
Lane 5 coming across the line at the moment, which is VAA B team, as well as the Canadians, Calgary Icemen in lane 6, completing their race for the 1,000 metre final for the Master 60 men.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen, as these men make their way to the loadout bay with their canoes. Stand by, hold on to your seats, because we've got the fast races coming up now. The last 2 races in the series of turn events for the 18th IVF VAA World Sprint Championships. And what are they? Those are the 1,500 metre races that are raced by the open women and the open men over this course, and that requires 5 turns, and it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, 4:58.39 for Team OPT. Not quite a world record, but fantastic. I'm going to hand it to Ngāti Re here at the moment.
Yesterday, so we had to really stay focused and work as a team. It was very good, yeah, very hard, yeah. And the turn was just making sure that each seat did their jobs and that we got around and kicked out really fast as we could. Yeah, that was awesome. Message for our Kiwi, our whānaus back home in New Zealand. A lot of love to all our whānau, everybody, and also to our host here at Ahatea Lodge, Michelle and Adu. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Et félicitations encore.
Merci, Ariano.
Congratulations to Kai Hoi o Ngāti Re here, Team Tai Tokerau, who have taken it out for the Master 60 Women's Race. As we now turn our sights to the last 2 finals for this morning and for this morning's coverage before we head into heats for the 500 metre races. But these 2 finals, Hotu, we've got the Open Women's and then the Open Men's V6 1500s. These are some fast racing, and these are the pinnacle races in these turning events.
Yes, David, and in this women's division, it's one of these things where we've only got Aotearoa and Tahiti in this race. 4 teams from Aotearoa, 2 teams from Tahiti, but we know what the Tahitians are like. They could spoil the day for the New Zealand teams. We'll see how that goes. Then after that, we've got our open men, and there's only 1 New Zealand team, and then lots of Tahitian teams. And of course, that fantastic Rapa Nui team that came out and blitzed the field really, really well in their sim. So here we go. Horauta, they're heading out. They just tried a little bit of a start pump there. Kiwi Campbell talking to her crew, taking it out to the start line. They are in lane 4, Kai Arahitoa. Tahiti Teva in lane 3, inside them. Then there's another Aotearoa team, Te Awahaku Maroro, the Flying Fish from Te Awahaku, New Zealand. And in lane 1, Hei Va'ahoi from Tahiti. Outside of Horauta, we have Otaki Wakahoi, and then we have the Taniwha Roto Wahines, who are holding their spot out there in lane 6 as we stand by for starters' orders.
Keep an eye out for lane 3, Tahiti Teva. That is Hinatea Bernardino's team, and they broke a world record in their semi-finals. They were at least 10 seconds ahead of the time that Kaiarahi Toa Horauta Wakaama put in the semi-finals. So they will be wanting to try and keep that, but keep an eye out for them, and let's see how they go in this next race.
On s'était préparé quand même pour avoir cette victoire-là. Et maintenant, il nous reste une course en qualification, le 500 mètres. Voilà.
Quelles ont été les consignes de votre équipe?
Surtout au départ, il fallait qu'on prenne un très bon départ. Et puis après, tu sais, il n'y a pas de consigne, c'est à fond. Hein, c'est jusqu'au bout, quoi. Et puis c'est ce qui s'est passé. Et puis on a bien viré en tous les cas. Ça compte les virages, des fois il y a beaucoup qui perdent à cause des virages. Hein.
That's your lineup for the Open Women's Final. Lane 1, Tahiti, Hei Va'ahoi, Te Awahaku Maroro from Aotearoa, lane 2. Tahiti Teva from Tahiti. Horota Waka Makaiara Hitoa lane 4. Lane 5, Otaki Waka Hoi, who seem to be just over the line at the moment. And Tani Wharoto Wahines in lane 6. As this race is underway, there's going to be a fight between lane 3 and 4, especially in this 1500 meter race.
It's going to be a tough one because Hinatea Bernardino is in this crew of the Tahitians, and they will not want to be beaten in this final because in the singles final she was beaten by Marama Elkington, who's out there in the Otaki team. So there's a bit of a scrap. It's not just about winning this race, but maybe a little bit of revenge for some of the stuff that took place in losing her crown as the World Women's V1 champion. Hinatea Bernardino will be trying to motivate and encourage her team to beat the New Zealanders today as they head up for turn number 1. And Kai Arahitoa is just a little bit behind the Tahitians at the moment, but they look a little bit more relaxed, the New Zealand team, and they've always done really, really good turns. Kiwi Campbell is a great steers person, so let's see how it goes as Kai Arahitoa goes into their turn. Fursieta, she reaches out and tries to spin their canoe, but the Tahitians do a fantastic turn as they turn around and come out. It could be neck and neck, but I think the Tahitians may have about a half a metre, maybe less over the New Zealanders, and the Tahitians go straight into their power up, and then they probably make 3 or 4 strokes on the New Zealanders as they come out of that first turn.
Yeah, and it's just that exit from the turn because the Horota team entered 1 second just after the Tahitian team, but they got around the same time. So when they exited at the same time, but the Tahitians were able to really lift that waka out of the water and get a bit of momentum going at the start of that, at the exit of that first turn. So as they start making their way down the course now, this is going to be neck and neck still because keep an eye out for that Horota team. Kiwi Campbell knows what she's doing when she does these turns, but that Tahiti team, they will not want anyone to get in the way of their gold medal. They are pushing at the moment as they make their way up to the second turn. They start angling in now, both teams, with the Tahiti team ahead by probably 1 second again. They get around this turn, and let's see how they go. A little bit wide from each of these teams, but I think the Horota team is catching them on this turn. But let's see how they go when they get the exit. The Tahitians are out. The team Aotearoa just coming out now. That Tahiti team know how to lift that waka up and get some momentum coming out of the exit of that turn.
Yes, probably about 2, maybe even 3 strokes before the New Zealanders did their power up out of there. The Tahitians had already started and they powered that canoe out of that turn a little bit earlier. They went in at almost exactly the same time, but the power up, it's like you put your foot down on the accelerator of your car. They did it 1, 2, maybe even 3 seconds before the New Zealanders did, and that was enough to give them a 2-seat advantage coming out of that turn.
And they are ahead at the moment, this team from Tahiti, as we make our way down the course up to the third of 5 turns. There are a few more turns left in this race, but all of these teams are just getting into a nice rhythm now as they make their way into this 750 metre mark. The Horota team, nice and easy, nicely done from them. So too the Tahiti team, they are just gripping the front and pulling through the waka. Nice long strokes here as they make their way up to this next turn.
Yes, a great overhead shot of this team from Tahiti as they come in for their turn. They made ground on the New Zealanders during this third 250 metre run. They're around about the halfway mark of this journey now. Here they go. This is the third turn. 2 more turns to go. The New Zealanders have dropped off a little bit here as the Tahitians start to show who's the boss in this race, because they are going to want to be the champions as they just lock it in, reach out there and start looking towards turn number 4 and the last 500 metres of the race.
Yeah, some great racing from the Tahiti team Teva. They are just powering in their strokes. Their strokes are longer than the Horota team. The Horota have a faster stroke rate, but real deep, long pulling through the water and pushing along the canoe is working really well for these Tahitians, and it's worked well for every one of the Tahiti teams.
Yes, as we watch this shot here, we can see with every stroke, the Tahitian team is gaining ground. They gain ground. They're making that gap between themselves and the Horauta team bigger and bigger and bigger as they come now in really good position. They're putting the pressure on the New Zealanders now because the New Zealanders will be coming in and seeing the Tahitians turn before them. The returns earlier before this, the New Zealanders were there at the same time as the Tahitians as they power out. That's what we're talking about. While the team is still trying to pull it around from New Zealand, the Tahitians power out. Aotearoa made a bit of a gain on the Tahitians here, but it might be a little bit too late. There's only 500 metres left in this race. And the way the Tahitians are going, they're going to be making sure they do not let Horauta in. And there's another race for third going on here. It looks like it could be the lane 1 team or the lane 2 team of Awahaku and the lane 1 team of VAA trying to get there for a bronze medal. But Horauta in this, they've started to catch up the team from Tahiti, but it could be too little too late because the Tahitians made a solid 500 metres in the middle of the race. Their second 500 metres was the kind of 500 metres that you always want to do to your opposition when they're close to you. That say something, yeah, can you catch me? Because if you can't, I am going to beat you. And here they go now. Horauta they have got 250 metres, maybe 300 metres to the end of this race, and they need a miracle. They need something. They need to call on some reserve of power to not only get their canoe around the corner quickly, but then to be able to pick up maybe half a knot of speed on the way down to take the Tahitians out, but it doesn't look like that will happen.
Yeah, at the moment, this Horauta team has a fantastic turn, but as they start making the scooping around the side, the Tahitians are already out, and so the team from Horauta are going to have to do some real work, and they're going to have to pull hard to catch these Tahitians because the strength of these Tahitians in the straight line racing is just phenomenal. It is phenomenal racing from the Tahiti team as they make their way down this last 250 metres. Horauta is chasing. It is a bit of a cat and mouse race at the moment, but the Tahiti team saying, no way, Jose, we're going to make sure that we keep in front of everybody, and if you want to catch us, you're going to have to work 10 times harder just to try and get to us.
There they go, the Tahitians. They're probably paddling half the rate of the New Zealanders. Horauta's got a fast pace going on, but the Tahitians just relying on that long draw through the water, not paddling overly fast, but paddling with plenty of power. As they come in 15 metres to go, the gold medal is secured by these women for Tahiti. They are the world champions for 2018. 2 canoe lengths behind them. Horauta Kai Arahitoa comes in with the silver medal, and the fight is on for third.
As they make their way down the course now, it looks as though it's lane 6 out there. Team Roto Wahines from Taniwha Outrigger Canoe coming across the line at the moment with the last 15 metres. They are probably about 3 seats ahead. They will take third place and the bronze medal for this year as the rest of these teams cross the line. Congratulations to the Roto Wahines Taniwha team. But Team Teva is this year's world champions for the Open Women V6 1500 metres. And I believe Team Teva took it out last year at the World Championships. The previous world record was 7 minutes 50.10 in 2016 by Team Teva Tahiti for the Open Women V6 1500 metres. We have a new world record by at least 8 seconds, a 7:42.91 from Team Teva Tahiti. That's how they line up. Tahiti, Teva, Horauta Wakaama, Kaiara Hitoa, and Roto Wahines from Taniwha Outrigger Canoe Club. First, second and third gold, silver and bronze medalists for the Open Women V6 1500 metres.
Fantastic race, ladies and gentlemen. This team from Tahiti absolutely focused on smashing the New Zealanders, and they did it by something like 7 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. That's a long way. That's a long way. As we've spoken earlier, we are always surprised when there's such great gaps between winning teams and everyone else who comes in later. The team that came in third, they were like half a minute behind them. So it's a great result here for the Tahitians. They'll be feeling happy on that win as we watch the open men head out to the start line. This is the Woolly Kumaras team from Aotearoa, Horota. The only New Zealand team that made it through. The other teams are New Caledonia, Rapa Nui and Tahiti. The Horota team they're in lane 1, so they'll be hoping that they can get a medal out of this because they are New Zealand's only hope in this event. There you have it, Horota Wakaama Woolly Kumaras. EDT VAA in lane 2, Mauna Ahine, who were fantastic in their race in lane 3. Rapa Nui, who were the crowd pleasers yesterday, who brought everyone to their feet when they won their semi-final. District de VAA de Bora Bora in lane 5, and New Caledonia, Tuha Pai VAA, Eric Favre, team 1 in lane 6.
Great start from lane 1. They were right on the line when that green flag went up, so they were able to get at least 2 or 3 seats ahead of those teams in the faster lanes, which is lane 3 and lane 4. That's Mauna Ahine and Rapa Nui. But all of these teams have an opportunity to win this race, but it's going to be who can get that speed on the straights and who can get around those turns and maintain that pressure all the way in this race.
Yes, here we see the team in lane 1. They jumped out to a good start, but already EDT VAA in lane 2 has got a little bit of a lead over the Woolly Kumaras. Woolly Kumaras there, as I said, the only team from Aotearoa in the race. They're from Horota, as we see Team EDT get their number 2 man out with his paddle. They're turning around first. Second, it looks like it could be Mauna Ahine. Rapa Nui are not having as much success in their turn as they had yesterday during the semi-finals, but it is at the moment Team EDT charging through their turn, and perhaps Mauna Ahine coming through in second place. They're in lane 3. The Woolly Kumaras, they might be in 3rd or 4th position at the moment, but there's no doubt about how this Tahitian team is rolling along.
Yeah, these Tahitian teams are flying on the water, and you can just see the grip at the front. They can grip that water at the front, and they can pull that waka ahead, and that just means that waka is going much faster than any of the others with less work or less extension, I suppose, because if they just kept that long extension, they can pull the water through as they make their way up to the second turn now. This team from Tahiti already ahead by 4 seats. Over there in lane 3 by the looks, they are coming around with 3rd place at the moment going to Horota Wakahoi, lane 1, Woolly Kumara. As they make their way around these turns, the Tahitians are out in lane 2, lane 3 are out, and lane 1 has just come out. Lane 4 is challenging at the moment, but lane 1, 2 and 3 are the teams that are in medal contention. Keep an eye out on lane 4, Rapa Nui. They are still in this race. They had a better turn in that second one than they did in the first one. But lane 3 is in this race, probably in second place, because lane 2, EDT VAA are ahead of everyone in this part of the race.
EDT VAA showing everybody the way. They're navigating this course ahead of everybody else. Mauna Ahine from lane 3, they're there, but they're not as close as they would like to be to this EDT team that's charging down the course. The Woolly Kumaras, I think they're having a bit of a paddle off against that Rapa Nui team out there in lane 4. They're slightly ahead at the moment, but we watched Rapa Nui come through in the semi-final, and they came out and they paddled a superb race to get through to the final. As EDT starts their turn, they're going around. Now they're looking like they're already got their armour around. Coming in next, Mauna Ahine, Woolly Kumaras and Rapa Nui, but I think Woolly Kumaras are ahead of Rapa Nui at the moment as they work around there now. And in the number 2 seat is Tipu King, who's fairly well known in the paddling world for paddling singles. He's in the number 2 seat, and I know his sister's watching him from Christchurch. I got a message from her today, and she sends her best wishes to her brother as he's in this final today. But lane 2, EDT VAA from Tahiti, they're the guys to beat. And at the moment, it doesn't look like anyone is going to do that.
No way at this stage. But we still have 2 turns left in this race. It's going to be a really, really interesting race for the rest of the place getters, because I think there's probably a race for 3rd place at the moment. This team from Tahiti making their approach into this next turn, lane 2, as they get around this waka. Lane 3 comes in, and then lane 1 and lane 4 out there for that 3rd place position. As they make their way around this 4th turn, some great work from that Horota team and the Rapa Nui team. But lane number 2, this team from Tahiti Nui, EDT VAA already out and are already ahead of everyone else.
Mauna Ahine trying their best to catch these guys from EDT, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. The team from Rapa Nui now, they won a medal. They started to look across during that 4th turn. They could see themselves closing in on the Horota team. So I'm interested to see who's going to win the bronze medal, because those guys from Rapa Nui knew how to pull out the effort when they absolutely needed it. In the last 700 metres or so, they managed to cane everybody. So they will be wanting to do exactly the same thing to the Horota Woolly Kumaras now, because they will be wanting to have a medal and keep the New Zealanders out of the standings.
And I think they've just started their attack at the moment, because I could see that they were just a little bit ahead of the Woolly Kumaras as they make their way down this track to the final turn, this 5th and final turn. This team from Hawaii have just come around that turn and got around that back end. I don't know if the back of that waka has gone out of the lane. That is something for the officials to make a determination on. But fantastic turning from this team in lane 2. EDT VAA, who have throughout all 5 turns just executed them really well. Horota coming out of their turn now, just as that team from Rapa Nui do too. They will have to pull really hard, this Horota team, because a race is on for the bronze medal, because 1st and 2nd, that gold and silver look to be locked up at this time.
Well, I'm going to cross my fingers and hold my breath for this team from EDT. They've put on a fantastic race. They've been fast, they've been strong, they've been powerful, full of stamina and drive. But that last turn could be their undoing as they race through to the finish line. They are miles ahead of everybody else. They're going to be the champions if they do not get disqualified for the back end of their canoe. Going over that orange buoy at turn number 5 as Mauna Ahine come across the line in 2nd place. Rapa Nui has charged across, and they've beaten the New Zealanders who've come in 4th place. Rapa Nui once again showing that final power and strength they have in that last 400 or 500 metres, as outside there in lane number 5 we have the team from District of Bora Bora coming in, and in lane 6 Tuhapai VAA, Eric Favre, team 1 from New Caledonia. But we shall wait and see, ladies and gentlemen, because there was a bit of a discrepancy at turn number 5 for this team, EDT VAA. The guys from Rapa Nui did a fantastic job to take the New Zealanders out and come in for 3rd place. But we never know, that could be promoted to silver and 2nd place if the officials think that was an illegal turn made by the Tahitians right at the end of that race.
And the officials have been sticklers for some of these rules, especially on the turning, boys. Your waka has to be out ahead of everyone for that. But this is your time, 6:42.19. Unofficially, it is a new world record for this 1500 metres. The previous record being 6:52, so 10 seconds off the last world record, which was held by Tahiti 2 in 2008. Mauna Ahine a 6:42 and a 6:53 for Rapa Nui.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. A morning full of fun and excitement as we listen to the Tahitians, who are the champs of the Open Women.
Donc concernant la course, nous avons pris un bon départ, du coup on a pu mieux gérer, on n'a pas paniqué et puis tout s'est très bien passé, une bonne connexion entre les filles comme d'habitude.
Chantal, satisfaite, là, soulagée même.
Plus que satisfaite, soulagée, non pas encore parce qu'il y a encore le 500 mètres. On va dire qu'on va être soulagé qu'à la fin de la journée de demain. Et voilà.
Tu disais tout à l'heure, Chantal, il faut rassembler toutes ces filles-là.
Oui, on a un grand souci à Tahiti, on va dire même en Polynésie, c'est qu'il y a un manque au niveau des filles. Ça, on le sait depuis des années. On a essayé de trouver des solutions. Donc, je fais appel à toutes les filles, les jeunes filles, surtout cadettes juniors. Venez essayer la rame. C'est vraiment un beau sport. Et voilà, on vous attend.
Message, remerciements, on est en live, profitez-en.
Merci à toute la Polynésie qui nous soutient. Merci à tous les sponsors, tout le staff. Et merci à TNTV pour le live.
Super, merci.
Super, merci.
Some fantastic racing. Excellent work from the Tahiti team, EDT VAA, and we saw some fantastic racing from not only our open men but our open women team as well. That is Tahiti Teva. Just great to see the power of the Tahitians on their home turf. Hotu, getting out there and showing everyone how it's done in these 1500 metre races.
Fantastic, David. It was great to see the different styles, the different ways that teams did what they needed to do to win a medal. I'm interested to see how things go with this team from EDT because I know that we actually had a team from Aotearoa that was disqualified for sliding over one of those orange boys earlier in some of the elimination rounds. So it would be sad to see this team be have their gold medal not awarded through some kind of a technical hitch as a part of their race, but that's what the rules state and that's what the rules are. So it'll depend if the officials caught that a bump over the boy or not, or if one of the other teams who might want to be promoted in the medal standings may protest what happened on that turn and go back to the race officials and ask for that turn to be inspected one more time to get a definitive decision on whether or not it was or wasn't a legal turn.
Yeah, that's it. The turning rules state that you must stay in your lane when you turn around, and that includes the back of your waka needs to stay in there as you approach your turn. So that was quite a close call from those teams, but I must say congratulations to the Rapa Nui team who had a fantastic semi-final. In their semi-final they really raced and they picked that rate up in the last 750 metres of their race, and they did exactly the same thing in this race to take it out and get that third medal.
Imagine if they'd won. Great reaction from our Rapa Nui whānau as we sit back and watch these shots of the Tahitians and the Rapa Nui team sitting there. Maun Hine being interviewed now. We just heard from the EDT team and the Rapa Nui guys as they celebrate their gold, silver and bronze medals.
Mais bon, dans des genres de distances comme ça, c'est vraiment difficile de revenir. Mais bon, on se préserver pour les 500 mètres et on va essayer d'assurer. Voilà.
Allez, on les laisse pour la photo.
Félicitations à EDT dans Tahiti. Bon, pour nous, il fallait vraiment que ça soit au moins une équipe d'entre nous qui gagne cette médaille encore pour Tahiti. Et bon, je félicite aussi Rapa Nui parce qu'ils ont très bien ramé aujourd'hui. Et voilà, aujourd'hui, on arrive deuxième. Et voilà, Tahiti a gagné encore aujourd'hui, on est content. Et voilà, toute la Polynésie.
Super message de Hiromana. Ça, c'est un beau message de fair play parce que même s'il est deuxième.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. He mihi nui tēnei kia koutou i ngā kāinga katoa o te ao e whakarongo mai nei, e mātakitaki mai nei i ngā āhuatanga. Whakatautai hoe waka o te ao ki tēnei o ngā motu o Tahiti Nui. Tērā takiwā o Hawaii ki a mātou o Aotearoa nei. Mihi nei kia koutou e whakarongo maina. Guys, we're going to be checking out for a little bit. There's going to be a bit of a stop in broadcasting for a little while, and we'll be back on air with live coverage from the IVF 18th IVF VAA World Sprint Championships here in Tahiti at around about 1 o'clock local time. Thanks for listening.
À cette matinée-là de cause, moi je dis, qu'est-ce que cette pirogue fait? Va vite, regarde les records du monde. Bon, c'est vrai que les moteurs, ils sont pour quelque chose. Tu as vu le nombre de records du monde qui tombent depuis le début de ces championnats du monde? J'ai retenu comme en Sibérie, la neige qui tombe, mais c'est vrai. Donc, qu'est-ce que cette pirogue va vite? Allez, Maroro, on se retrouve tout à l'heure, Myanmar. Et on souhaite Faitoto à Hilani là, qui se bat pour les qualificatives, la qualification pour les prochaines finales.
Ouais,
Olivier,
merci beaucoup. On se retrouve tout à l'heure pour encore pas loin de 16 courses pour les séries qualificatives pour toutes les grandes finales de demain. Ça sera sur 500 mètres, bien sûr. Donc on revient dans 13 heures. Ça fait à peu près dans 3 heures. Donc vous avez le temps de vous reposer, de manger un bon coup et de revenir en forme à 13 heures en télé, en web avec nous.
À tout à l'heure, en direct, bien évidemment, sur Tahiti Télévision.
Ciao, à tout à l'heure.